Hi everyone, and welcome back to another Work No Game video. Today's video is dedicated to Clan Battle 2 and some tips on how to handle the Orc Chief boss. We're going to talk about some beginning advice for Clan Battle 2 overall, but let's go ahead and jump into this Orc Chief right here. And note here, we're going to be trying to use the 4-star carry that I have. I feel like she might be able to do it. I've been able to consistently run this with 5-star carry, but I know not everyone has a 5-star carry, nor does everyone have like a 3 or 4-star carry, but it's just something that I want us to look into. And the key part to handling this Orc Chief and dealing the optimal damage is running this on auto. Do not try to run this on manual. The reason why is because whenever Kaori does her UB, she's going to be getting some health back. So if you're trying to time her UB, or you're trying to min-max things and get like the death breaks appropriate, it's not going to work out for you for the most part, because she needs that UB in order to stay alive. Nope, she didn't make it here, and that's one of the things that I was really worried about. So let's go ahead, and that's going to be the timer. Let's see how much damage we deal. I don't think it's going to be enough. If you can get this right, and this is something that I wanted to show, if it was a mistake, you can still deal somewhat useful damage. I believe it's going to be like around 400k at best, but if you can make this team work, you can deal like roughly around 600 to 700k. 600k plus was the minimum with these team units in particular. My biggest thing is, in order to have it consistent, you're going to have a 5-star carry. 5-star carry was available thanks to one of the folks who is focusing on her, so this is where borrowing clan members units is ideal. You know, having one person just go all in a particular character really helps the overall clan. So while Kaori did die at 4-star, we still did somewhat okay damage at 480k. Of course, everyone's doing big boy numbers and everything, and you can see here we're in 24th thanks to everyone participating within the guilds, and we did a huge overall to make us more competitive and everything. So it's an entirely new guild in some ways because we are so competitive. Let's go ahead and run 5-star Kaori and show you how this is supposed to be done. 5-star Kaori is going to be necessary just because of the fact that she can actually take all of the hits. Now 4-star Kaori can do it, it's just going to be very inconsistent. 5-star Kaori is just more consistent with everything because she has higher health, higher damage, and she can pretty much keep herself alive, right? The sustain is the most important part, and right here you can see we're going off of auto roughly around like the 58-second mark, and this is just so we can time everything appropriately. You don't want Kokoro to instantly cast her UB here, and you want to insta-cast Kaori's UB just so she can get some health backs. Wow, that was some insane damage right there. That was a crit for 68k. I've never seen that in any of my runs. I did not get that on my previous run. So 45 seconds, 44 seconds, that's when you want to do the tri-slash, and then from here you just sort of go on auto. Really not worth it to time everything because all the timings are pretty much off. You know, even if you wanted to wait for Kaori's UB to cast during Makoto's UB, it's just not worth it. The damage really isn't worth it. You just kind of like go with it, because if you are trying to time things with this Orc Chief, it's going to mess up your overall flow. While we're doing phenomenal damage over here and we could deal more, sometimes it's better to do auto in order to get consistent results. That's the most important thing when you're doing clan battle, is if you can get consistent results, that's the only thing that matters. So we managed to do 725k thanks to Kaori's crit, which was super amazing. You could probably push it even higher, 749, 750 if you're manually, but honestly that crit is very situational, right? All right, let's go ahead and show a consistent method that everyone can use when tackling Orc Chief. This is going to be the team with pretty much June and Makoto. June is going to be the primary tank, and this is going to be my recommendation. I don't feel like you should run Tamaki if your June can take the hit, or if your units can take the hits overall, right? You should only run Tamaki if you don't have any other units built, and if you feel like your units cannot survive or cannot take that stun appropriately. Because from what I've seen, Tamaki lowers my overall damage for this one in particular, because usually I get around like 498k with her, whereas this one, you know, this team in particular, June, Makoto, and Kaori, those 3 units in particular are key for this run, then it's going to deal a consistent 600k plus. So you can see here we're already at like the 214, 215k mark, and just note that, you know, the damage is going much better than than when Kaori died previously. Kaori dies, it just messes everything up. We're already above, like, we're going to be obviously above like that 400k-ish threshold, which is nice to see. But this is the team that I recommend for folks who don't want to risk the biscuit. The thing is with Kaori, you know, or Kokoro doing the face tanks, it's just higher damage overall, and that's the team that everyone's going to be running in order to deal more damage. Of course, the Wyvern and Wild Griffin bosses, you can easily run, you know, the Kokoros in the front. You can see here we dealt 574k damage, which isn't bad. It's 100k better than the previous ones, but you can definitely tell that it's going to be much better, you know, doing particular ways of dealing damage. And look at the guild, we are doing way better than the previous one because of the overhauls and everything. And one advice that I wanted to give to folks, Divine Amulets, right? You should ideally save for Summer Karu if you're a free-to-play player and you're not in a competitive guild. But there's something I want to show you. I have Mimi at 2, which pretty much means I bought more shards for her, and for Kaori I have her at 2. So I feel like it is worth it to buy Divine Amulet if you are only doing it for the first 20. So for example, I've gone above the first 20 and now I'm dipping into the 2 range. I don't think it's worth it unless you are very, very close to getting that character to 4-star or 5-star or whichever threshold, because this is more along the lines of you're betting on the fact that your clan will be able to perform. So for example, you're pushing PvP and you're like, hey, I want more Divine Amulets in order to get better characters, to get better results, then feel free to do so. Just note that when you're using Divine Amulets, you are burning currency for limited characters in particular, because limited characters do not have a way to farm shards. This is exclusive ideally for limited characters. If you are someone who's highly competitive, you are participating in a clan that can consistently rank highly, then it's going to be okay in order to deal more consistent damage overall, so you can place higher within like the monthly rankings for the overall guild, because that's going to be worth it in the end. It's not worth it to sort of save your currency when you are trying to push for higher ranks, right? This is where the give and take sort of flows in certain situations for certain guilds or clans, because not everyone is having like the same situation as everything else. When it comes to like advice on any game in particular, I can understand where someone's like, hey, you know, I don't feel like that's good advice. And that is because of the fact that everyone has a particular situation or a particular mindset where it's like, I want to do this thing in particular. And when I am focusing on being higher in clan battle, it doesn't make sense for me to focus on someone like Carol, who's not going to be used frequently in clan battle, but it's better for me to spend DAs and or Divine Amulets on characters like Kaori, even though I don't use her in PvP. But that's just because I'm not a PvP player. That's just something that I want us to take into account when we're trying to build up units and we're trying to move forward with the game. That mindset of having a focus will help you more, and also ideally seeing particular things where it's like, I need to make this deviation in order to have better results for myself, because that's my focus. And we can see here, you know, my focus is not PvP whatsoever. Ideally I should have like a, you know, much higher like 5-star units and whatnot for like my Monikas and, you know, my Yoris and all that in order to properly participate. But we managed to get the win here, luckily, thanks to, like, you know, this team. I feel like they didn't have enough tankiness or stall. That's why we managed to push through, but I am ranking lower. But that's just because I don't focus myself in arena. You can focus on both like aspects of the game, but of course you're gonna have to use your wallet a little in order to participate at that level where you're participating in clan battle and in arena at high stakes. But hopefully my advice with you, where you can spend DAs on particular characters such as Kaori or any attacker in particular in order to push your damage even further, will help you in clan battle too. Anyways, that's it for today's video. If you made it this far, consider subscribing, dropping a like, leaving a comment. 17,500 subs, we'll be doing a giveaway. Follow me on Twitch, follow me on Twitter, where I do other things and show IRL stuff once in a while. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.